everyone. Just gonna get my camera fixed up here. There we go. Can everyone see me okay? And hear me? Hi. So I'm Heather. Welcome to our first Coco and Claire YouTube Live. So bear with me, my first time doing the YouTube Live. We've decided we were doing them on our VIP group, and we decided to change them to here because we can share them across all of the platforms, Instagram, Facebook and stuff easier, and it's more visible to the general public. More people see it, and yeah, the more people that see it, the more content we can create for you. So today we are just gonna kind of go back to the basics. We're gonna start with setting up your workstation. So you want to have a solid surface. This is my nail desk, but any table, coffee table, anything like that works. If you're just doing it on your own or on your own hands at home, it just needs to be, doesn't wiggle, solid. You do want to protect it, especially if it's something you like your kitchen table. This is our silicone mat. I just have a piece of paper under here so that it shows up online better. But our silicone mat, or you can use like a piece of paper towel or a towel, anything like that. But like things like our residue remover, our cleanse, nail polish remover, any of that kind of stuff will wreck your tabletops, especially if they're not made out of the right material. Anything wood, that kind of thing will definitely get wrecked. So a piece of paper towel might not even be sufficient if you think you're gonna spill. If you're like me and spill something, definitely have a towel down. Rubber mat, even better. Cutting board, anything like that would work too. Anything that you don't care if it gets wrecked, easy and cheap to replace, that kind of thing. All right, so, and you want your area to be dust and pet hair free, preferably. I know, kind of hard, but yeah, the less dust and pet hair you have floating around, the better. It will just frustrate you. So, and you don't want to, you want to be near a window so that, or like in a well-lit room, but you don't want to be near a window, I should say. The direct sunlight will cure your gels. They'll especially cure your art brushes and stuff really fast, like seconds, they'll cure them. So you want to stay away from the direct sunlight of the window, but you want a well-lit room. So use a lamp of any sort, any kind of lamp works. You want your room temperature. The hotter your room is, the thinner your gel will be, the runnier your gel will be. So if you're finding your gel is super runny, your room is probably too hot. So you can either pop it in the fridge for a couple minutes or try and make your room cooler. If your room's too cold, it'll be thicker too. If you're finding that's usually the cause of if your gels are too thick or too thin from what you're used to, it's usually your room temperature. And if you guys have any questions during this, just ask me. All right, and you can have a fan running, like by all means, have your air conditioning, have your fan running if you want. The only problem with fan is if you are going to be stamping at the end, you're gonna have to turn your fan off when you're stamping because the fan will dry your stamping polish extremely fast and it won't work actually. I actually just had that the other day. I'm like, why my stamping won't work? Oh, because I was hot and I had my fan on and totally forgot about it. So, and then the usual comfy chair, pros for your tables. If you're a professional tech and you're doing clients, you want the distance between you and your client to be fairly narrow. I believe it's usually like 18 to 22 inches, somewhere in there, but it's kind of personal preference. But definitely tight, narrower is better. All right, so then on to products that we want. You want some sort, I prefer wipes. You want some sort of wipe. These are just lint-free gauze that you can get the drugstores, the dollar store, anything like that. Anything that, the more lint-free they are, the better. You can also use paper towel cut up or those blue shop towels that you can get in like the automotive departments in Costco and stuff. Those cut up work really good too. So we want our lint wipes and some sort of a dust brush that's relatively clean. This is our big dust brush. And you want some files and buffers. So these are our buffers. They're 100, 180, and they are like foamy. They're super nice for buffing. And then if you get the pack of our files, sorry. This is the full pack that comes with the little case and everything. You get two 100, 100. Do not use the 100 on your natural nail. You will hurt your natural nail. These are for only on top of gel or for shortening your nail, but you don't want to use it like directly on top. And then you get a 100, 180. The 100 is the more coarse, so it feels rougher. Don't use that side on your natural nail, but the 180 you can use. And then we have 180, 240, which both of those you can use on your natural nail. You can use it on top of your gel. It just might take you longer. I would use the 180 side. The 240 is pretty much just for your natural nail. So make sure you have one of those. You don't need one of every one of these. If you're only going to buy one of the nail files and not the whole kit, I would get either the 100, 180 if you plan on using the builder gels, and the 180, 240 if you plan on just doing gel polish on top, no builder gel, no strong. All right, so we got those. Let's move those off to the side. All right, so then we got your cuticle tools. I got a few different ones here. They're all fairly similar. It really is just preference. Like this one you can tell is more bent, more curved than that one. This one has a small end and a big end. This one has a big end and kind of a pointier end. Our Coco and Claire one, which I don't actually have here, is similar to this one, but a little bit more rounded end, but it does have the kind of scoop on the end. It's just personal preference which one you like, but just make sure they're clean. For yourself at home, we're washing like soap and water like you would your dishes. You can even spray some alcohol on them. Make sure if you spray any kind of chemical though, you wash it, give them a rinse before you use them on your skin. You can also use like the little wood sticks that you can buy. They're pretty good. I like the metal ones personally more. They don't wear out as fast and stuff, but the wood ones are nice and cheap. We have those. And then we have cuticle nippers. So you don't have to use these. If you are not a trained tech, and especially if you have not taken an advanced care cuticle course, I would recommend only using these on like the dead, flapping in the wind skin, where you can actually see the hangnail hanging there. Don't use it on anything that looks pink. You want like the white, kind of dried up looking skin. It's the only thing you want to remove because you can do a fair amount of damage with these if you're not careful. And then my favorite is, I always like to have a dotting tool or the orange stick. And I like to use it to clean up like around the edges if you happen to get any gel on your skin. It makes it better. Like you can use your nail, but your nail is touching your skin. So the chances of getting gel on now another finger are pretty good. If you have gloves on, that's different. You can always put a glove on the hand you're not doing. But I like to go around the edges if I get gel on there. Makes cleaning up pretty easy. All right, and then lamps. So we have our little Coco and Claire lamp. You want to plug him in, turn him on before you even get started. Make sure he works. No point in getting all the way to getting your gel polish on and you can't cure them because your lamp won't work. These do have a lifespan. Kind of when your gel polish is starting to have problems is there's not really a given amount of time, but I would say you'll have to replace these little guys every couple of years if you're just using them on yourself. And then there is like the bigger lamps. I'm a little close here, sorry. There's like the bigger hand lamps where you can fit in your whole hand. They do last a little longer usually depending on the brand. If you're ProTech, definitely recommend those. I do not recommend these little guys for the ProTechs. They just don't have enough power in them to do multiple people in a day or a week or anything like that. They're meant for occasional use by one person, you know, once a week, that kind of thing. And then we'll get into the products. So if you have gel polish on your fingers already and you've removed it, and especially if you have our base coat on, our water soakable base coat, you're gonna need some residue remover. Because when you soak off our base coat, it does sometimes leave a little bit of like a layer on it. And you'll have to use some residue remover with a wipe to kind of wipe it off a little bit. If you have base coat that you bought a while ago and you did not get a residue remover, because we only started supplying this not too long ago, just shoot an email to orders@cocoandclaire.com and tell them to throw in a residue remover with your next order, and we'll throw that in for free. So we got residue remover, we got our cleanse. Cleanse is probably one of the most important things you can have. If you need it for, if you get gel on any of your skin to clean up your gel, on your mat, anything like that, you're gonna need your cleanse for. Then we're gonna have our clean. That's what we use to put, so we file our nails, buff our nails, get rid of all the dust and everything, put on a coat of clean. This cleans your nail, dries it out, gets it all ready for the gel to attach to it. And then we have prep, and prep is a little tricky. Prep is not necessarily needed. You can go straight from the clean into the peel off base, or you can add prep. Prep just on like the very, very edge of your finger, of your like natural nail. And if you put prep on your whole entire nail, then you're gonna need to soak it off with acetone. Prep makes our base not necessary. So if you want to be able to soak off with our water, then you need our peel off base. So the peel off base is fairly thick, not super thick, but you know, decent enough. You want an even coat on there, not a big blob of it, but not a teeny tiny amount. You want a good even covering where everything's covered. There's a decent layer on, because the water, when you go to soak it off, the water is absorbed by the base. So if you don't have enough base coat on, then it makes it hard for enough water to get absorbed in order for it to soak off. So you can stop there at your clean, prep if needed, and base coat, and go straight into your color or sparkle if you want. Or if you want a little bit more strength, you can add Strong or one of our Builder gels. Strong and Builder they are slightly different. Chemically, they're slightly different, but they do the exact same thing. They both add strength to your nails. They're thicker. You can use them with the soak off base, but if you want to soak off with acetone and not with water, then you can skip the soak off base altogether, put prep on directly, and go in with Strong or your base coat. But then you have to soak off with acetone. So we'll do a video on that too separately, because that's kind of a big process. So Strong and your builders you can put on. You can file a little bit if you want. Then your colors and glitters when you want those. And when you get it all nice to how you like it, then you can throw on one of the mini top coats we have. These are just a few of them. So this is our base top coats, our main top coats is our matte and our shine. And then these are just two other ones. This is your glitz, and it's a shiny top coat with a little bit of a shimmer to it. And this is our mini egg matte. So he's got the black flecks in him, but he comes out matte. And you can use him in conjunction. If you want the flecks, but you want them shiny, put this on, put some shine on top. Now you have shiny black flecks. So that is the minimum that you need to do your nails. A lamp, all the bottle supplies, your chemicals and stuff, some wipes, your cuticle pushers, a dust brush, nail file. Those are all the things you need at minimum to be able to do your nails. And then all the rest is just for fun. So some of the fun stuff that you can include is your art stuff. So we have a million art brushes. This is our double-ended art brush, so it has a little brush on each end. If you were just to choose one art brush, that would be the one I would choose, because you get a shorter end and a little bit longer end, and you can pretty much do anything you want with those two. But if you prefer to have more brushes, oops, not that one. So then we have the set of 3, small, medium, and large. And they're very similar to this one. This one's a little bit tinier, I would say, or a little thinner, but they're very similar. But yeah, if you only wanted to buy one, I would recommend the dual-ended brush. So those are the art brushes, doing fine lines, getting close into your cuticle, use them for anything kind of like that. And then we have our ombre brush, which is for making ombres, and we will do a video on that here one day. It does make ombres much easier. And then this is, I forget the name of this. I think it was glitter brush, something like that, or chrome brush. You can use this to like dab on your chrome with, dab on your glitter with. You could even use it as a dust brush. It's really compact, so it would work for that too. He's just kind of an all-around brush that you can add stuff on with. So that is all our brushes. And I like to wipe my brushes. So I'll take a brush when I'm doing my nails, and you can either wipe it on like your silicone mat if you have, or this is like an art pellet. These are like those bathroom tile from Home Depot with some of that drawer liner glued on the back, just so it doesn't scratch anything. Super cheap. Clean your brushes on here, wipe your color off on here if it's not the color you're wanting anymore. But yeah, it saves, you can wipe with a wipe, but the wipes have fuzz in them. So then the fuzz gets in your brush and drives you nuts. So I prefer some sort of pellet type thing, but not needed. You can also just use a wipe. You can use your mat, any of that kind of stuff. So for more fun art things, we have our chromes. So these are pressed chromes. They're not meant to go onto a full nail. They are meant more to do small art, small lines, swirls, flowers, stamping with them, that kind of stuff. And then you just need like the makeup sponges. It does come with one, and you can buy replaceable ones pretty much anywhere. Amazon, dollar store, they're just cheap makeup sponges. To wipe off your extra powder, after you put it on your nail, you're going to want a brush other than your dust brush. Just because once the chrome or glitter gets in your brush, you'll never get it out. And then you're going to have glitter on everything that you dust. So you want a separate brush. This is the chrome dust brush, I believe. So, and same with nail art powder and sugar. That's another art item you can use. Same with if you're dusting it off, you can use the same brushes like your chrome, but you want to use a separate brush from your regular dust brush, just so you don't get it everywhere. All right, and cat eyes. We've had lots of cat eyes recently come out. So if you want cat eyes, you can use regular on their own, just paint them on and cure it, or you can use the magnets. So if you want to use them as they're intended to, then you need a magnet. There's another art option for you. And then we have our blooming gel. This is a personal favorite of mine. I just love the art that you can make with them. You can make pretty much anything and they all look pretty. And then we have our gem gel and gems. And our gem gel works really good. It lasts extremely long. It has a teeny tiny thin brush on the end. So you just put it where you want the gems. And then plunk your gem onto the gem gel. Kind of give it a little push down so that the gel kind of comes up around the sides. And cure it. And then that's some of our gems. That's just a few. That's only like 2 sizes. I think these are SS6 and 16s. So we have a bunch of different sizes, AB and clear. Removing the gems, I just use like the big toenail clippers, like not the little tiny ones, but like the big old man toenail clippers, if you know what I mean. They work really good. You can just kind of catch the gems with the very corner and kind of bite them off. That's what I prefer to use. And then for picking up your gems, we have our gem picker-upper tool. So one end is a pointy end. You can move your gem gel around with it if you need to, clean up with it, push your gems around in the spot that you want them to go. And then the other end is a wax head end, and that's for actually picking up the gems. And just pick up the gem, and it holds it. Every now and then your wax end will get kind of smushed after you've used it a while. Just warm it up in like your hand, and you can form it back into shape, into a point. If the end is really goopy, like you've gotten gem gel on it, and it's just goopy, just cut off the end. Just cut off the very tip and give it a little shape again, and then you're good to go. And you can also, the ends come out. So you can also pull out the ends. And you can replace them. But you don't need to replace them very often. I think in 5 years, I've replaced it once maybe. So yeah, I just keep reshaping the ends. And then of course, if you're doing your own nails, well, you need your own hands. But if you just want to practice or try out some things on yourself, then you're going to need some fake tips. So this is the clear jelly tip holder, and these are the little snap-on tips. And then this is a stand. So this is magnet with a magnet stand on it, and a tip with the white is sticky tack. And I believe this is Coco and Claire's stand that I believe we're gonna have in the shop soon. I think that's why they gave it to me. But yeah, they're super cute. They match the other painted and posted items that we have. The brush, what is there? A brush holder and a little stand and stuff. Same company made them for us. Pink and gold. Or you can upgrade and go to the big hand. The big creepy hand, as my kids call it. So with the hand comes a stand. Hand hooks to the stand sticks to your table, and then you can move your hand around as much as you want. If your stand is not sticking to your table, it's probably because your table has a texture to it. It doesn't like tables that have a bit of texture to it. So you might have to stick it to like a piece of glass or like kitchen countertop type material, something that doesn't have a texture. And then with your hand, you need some tips. So then we have tips. These are the long ones. We also have ones that are slightly shorter. And yeah, these are just for the hands because these are plastic. So don't glue them on yourselves. They're just a plastic tip. They're not meant to go on people. They're just meant for these rubber silicone hands. And I think that is all we got. Do you guys got any questions or anything? Yeah, you just want to have everything set up before you get started. Make sure your lights and stuff work before you get started. Stay away from sunlight's a big one. And if you can, store your gels in like a closed, not a closed container, but like away from light, like in a cupboard, in a drawer, something like that. They will last, like they're in a closed container, so they don't have to be, but they, just for peace of mind, it is better if they're in a closed area, away from the sun, and away from any heat. Like don't put them near the register or anything like that. Yeah, that's all we have. There is, this week, I believe there is, the release is not new, but they're doing a kit that has the art inks in them. So check that out online. Next week, there is a brand new release of gels, and they're really pretty. And there's also, and Giselle is one of our Coco and Claire ambassadors, and she does some training and stuff for us. So she's holding a class. Actually, I can show you. I took her class actually in person when she was doing it at the nail show. So she's did Ombre and Patrick from SpongeBob. So she's doing an online version of this where you can buy a kit. I think the cutoff for the kit has already happened, but we can always send you the kit and you'll just get it later. The video will be on Zoom, I believe, and it will stay on there for a while, so you'll be able to watch it later and stuff. You don't have to be present right at that moment. But yeah, they're super good. This is the first character I have ever drawn, so he was pretty easy. So if you're really worried about taking it because you don't feel like you have the skill for it, like give it a try. You'll never know. Giselle's super easy. She's really good at teaching and everything. So it's just a fun class. She goes through kind of a little bit of everything, and it's fun to know. It's fun to learn how, even if you don't draw Patrick and he doesn't necessarily look like Patrick, it's good to know how to hold your brushes and load your brushes and use them. The more you do it, the easier it'll get. But yeah, so check out cocoandclaire.com, and there's a picture with a set that looks similar to this on there. And you can sign up for that class. I believe the class is next week, so you don't want to wait too much longer for that. And I think that's everything else that I have to say. Yeah, any questions, reach out to us. Join our Facebook group, our VIP group. It is Coco and Claire VIPs on Facebook. And join our Instagram and Facebook regular pages. And we'll continue to do our live videos on YouTube. So make sure you hit subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification, which is the little bell icon. And then you'll get a notification that the live is starting. And we're going to try and do them consistently. I'll probably try and do them every week here for a bit. Summer gets a little tricky because, of course, everyone's gone and stuff. So they might be a little more random during the summer. But yeah, we're going to try and keep them fairly regular for you guys so you can be on here. So any questions, shoot us an email at info@clearjelly.com or ask on our social media. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.